From maggot-filled cheese to hairy bat soup, we talk about the 10 disgusting foods around the world. Number 1. Escamolas. This is a dish of ant larvae harvested from the roots of a specific plant called agave in Mexico. In some forms of Mexican cuisine, escamoles are considered a delicacy and sometimes referred to as insect caviar. They have cottage cheese-like consistency and taste buttery. This is coming from the people who actually ate the dish. I would never endure this torture unless it's essential and or if Bear Grylls is by my side telling me it's all good. Number 2. This is a fermented tinned fish which is so foul that it is mostly eaten outdoors due to the stench. It is sold in cans which often bulge during shipping and storage due to the continued fermentation building up the pressure inside the can. A species of Haloneurobium bacteria are responsible for the in-can ripening of the fish. The bacteria produce carbon dioxide and a number of compounds that account for this disgusting odor. Why? Just why would you eat this? Number 3. Kumis. Kumis is an actual drink, a dairy product made from the fermented milk of a female horse. Because the mare's milk contains more sugars than the fermented cow's or goat's milk, kumis has a higher, though still mild alcohol content. Kumis is made by fermenting the mare's milk over the course of hours or days, often while stirring or churning. A bacteria known as lactobacilli acidifies the milk and yeast turns it into a carbonated and mildly alcoholic drink. It's basically fizzy, moldy horse milk. Another property of this revolting drink is that it has a laxative effect. In other words, it makes you poo. Number 4. The century egg. The century egg is a Chinese cuisine ingredient made by preserving duck, chicken, or quail eggs in a mixture of clay, ash, salt, lime, and rice straw for several weeks to several months. After the process is completed, the yolk becomes a dark green cream-like substance with a strong odor of sulfur and ammonia, also known as farts mixed with rotten egg. They can be eaten without further preparation, on their own as a side dish, or chopped and used as an ingredient. But whichever way you look at it, you are still eating a rotten egg. Number 5. Raw blood soup. This is a dish made with raw blood of ducks or geese and sometimes pigs, and to add a little twist, they throw on some peanuts and herbs on top. Despite the dish's popularity in northern Vietnam, it is very dangerous due to the high risks of H5N1 bird flu virus. People have died from eating the dish and some have been eaten inside out with parasites that lurked inside the blood that they ingested. With all these risks, people all around the world still visit the country to try the dish for themselves. Now that's how you live on the edge. Number 6. Scorpion soup. As its name implies, it is a soup made from scorpions. Preparing the dish alone is extremely dangerous. A man named Wing Li from China recently discovered this fact when he was stung by 3 scorpions as he tried to throw them in the pot. He was making the soup to help ease his rheumatism. Scorpions are usually eaten in southern China. Those who have eaten the soup say that the scorpions have a woody taste and should be eaten whole, except for the tip of the tail. Even though they say that the dish is safe when prepared correctly, I'm going to stick with ramen noodles for the meantime. Number 7. Casu marzu. This is a type of cheese, but not your normal chunk of dairy product. This type of cheese is so disgusting, it's illegal. It is a traditional Sardinian sheep's milk cheese notable for being filled with insect larvae. Casu marzu goes beyond a typical fermentation to a stage most would consider decomposition, brought about the digestive action of the insect larva. The larvae are deliberately put into the cheese, which then promotes a very advanced level of fermentation. The cheese becomes very soft with some liquid seeping out from within it. The cheese is considered toxic when the maggots inside the cheese have died from over-fermentation. Due to this, the cheese is only eaten when the maggots inside the cheese are still alive. The larvae in the cheese can launch themselves to distances up to 6 inches when disturbed. Diners take caution by covering up the sandwich with their hands to prevent the maggots from hopping into their eyes. If the eater doesn't carefully chew the maggots to the point in which they die, then harmful consequences can arise. The type of larvae used in the cheese are resistant to stomach acids. Armed with this immunity, they also have powerful mouth hooks which can cut into stomach linings or intestinal walls, as the maggots try to unravel themselves through internal organs. For now, I think string cheese will work for me. Number 8. Fruit bat soup. This is really just an insult to the concept of fruit preparation. The whole process for preparing fruit bat soup as it's enjoyed in Guam is as follows. Rinse off the bat, boil it, chop some vegetables. This is optional. Then you have to soak everything in coconut milk, and that's it. Eat up! My only question is, do they eat it with the hair on the bat? Well, to answer that question, locals in Guam say of course. It's considered rude not to. That's where I start to question the mortality rate of eating this thing. I mean, didn't Ebola start with the bats? Number 9. Balut. Balut takes boiling an egg to another level. Balut is fairly common and unassuming street food available both in the Philippines and Vietnam. Most boiled eggs, as you would assume, are unfertilized, meaning the egg isn't alive itself. On the other hand, balut is fertilized. The eggs are incubated and allowed to grow for a certain amount of time, usually a few weeks. Then you peel back the shell along with the small body of a fetal chick. This includes the whole package, small bones, feathers, beak, and all. I don't think there's a right way to eat balut, but you would be advised not to take bites of the chick, but locals suggest slurping it right from the shell with a pinch of salt. Well, I guess I was wrong. Number 10. Fried spider. Fried spider is a regional delicacy popular in the Cambodian town of Skuon. Besides eating a hairy, creepy crawler, they add a bunch of ingredients to it that cover up the taste. Well, some of it. But for those who dare eat the abdomen, they will be indulged with a brown-like sludge that mainly consists of innards, eggs, and excrement. Now see, if I was Spider-Man, I would never visit this area. Thank you for watching. This has been Weird Wendell, and I will see you next time.